What's up, guys? I'm Random Frank P, and today we got a big one for you. Because Elgato just released the brand new Stream Deck Plus with a ton of new functionality to their product line. So if you want to check it out, we'll go over it all for you guys today, including my thoughts and opinions, my user experience and feedback, all that stuff, in case you're interested in the brand new Stream Deck Plus. So this new version is the 5th iteration of the Stream Deck, with the original and the updated Mark II, the 6-key Stream Deck Mini, 32-key Stream Deck XL, the app version of Stream Deck Mobile, and now the Plus, launching at $200, which is $50 cheaper than the XL, and only $50 higher than the original. And taking a look at it, the Plus features 2 components that are brand new to the Stream Deck lineup, with a screen in the middle and 4 dials below it, giving you 3 different ways to use and interact with your streams, editing software, gaming, anything you want to use this for. The possibilities truly are endless, which is what makes the Stream Deck lineup so useful and popular. So, up top are the 8 programmable LCD screen buttons, then is a 4x1/2-inch LCD touch panel, and then on the bottom are 4 multifunctional dials that can also be pushed in to actuate as another function. In terms of size, comparing it to the original, the device itself is about 35% larger, I'd say, and the 4 LCD screens are also just a bit bigger as well. They still, however, have that very soft and mushy actuation like in the past. I wish they would have updated that to be more satisfying and tactile when you press them. Now, since it is a bit on the bigger side, we have a permanent base attached to it, so it's always propped up and facing you, and the base is not removable, mainly because up top is the USB-C port, and if it was just lying flat on your desk, that would then interfere with the cable. So I understand why they went with that non-removable stand here. With that being said, I'm happy the cable is still removable and not internally attached, so you can swap cables if you want. Quick thing to point out is the Stream Deck Plus is also able to be used with a coil cable with an aviator connector. A lot of times, peripherals and stuff that needs more power typically don't work with cables like this because of the connection and the length of them, but it's good to see that this one actually does work. So if you have, coil cables, aviator cables, anything like that, you want to match it to your keyboard or your setup aesthetic, you can. Now, taking a deeper dive into the new features, let's talk about the touch bar. This 4-inch screen is most likely a repurposed Corsair iCUE Nexus screen that they sold for their keyboards, now just combined into the Stream Deck since both companies are a part of the same family. The touch bar is obviously touch sensitive. You can use your finger to trigger a function on the screen or swipe to change pages, which is nice, versus in the past having to set a button or use software to change pages, but now swiping is just much more convenient. The screen is used to show what function is assigned below to the dial, and pressing on the touch function acts the same as if you were pressing in the actual dial to actuate it. Unfortunately, there is no tactile feedback on the touch bar, which would have been a nice addition, I think. And then for those 4 dials, they are 360-degree rotary encoders that, as I said, can also be pressed in to act as another function, like a quick mute, for example, when adjusting audio. But these dials, I think, are really going to be the new selling point for a lot of people, especially for streamers who want to change audio levels on the fly and fine-tune settings without having to actually pull up Streamlabs. All that stuff, you can now just easily do it at an arm's reach. They can be assigned in the software, which I'll show you coming up, and the dials themselves do have these physical tactile steps to them when turning them. They can also be assigned in the software to different steps, adjusting in increments of 1, 5, 10, or 25 steps. Then lastly, as I mentioned, we have the same LCD screens here that can be customized to display anything you want, GIFs included, and the process to change these is exactly like all the other Stream Deck models in the past. And speaking of which, let's head back to the PC and I'll show you the software real time and how you can configure the new dials, all that stuff for you. Okay, so into the Stream Deck software, and odds are if you've used any Stream Deck in the past, you're probably very familiar with it. Not too much has changed, except the new dials tab over on the right side here. That obviously is how you're going to configure your dials, coinciding with the screen right above it. I'm not gonna go in a very deep dive of the Stream Deck software, because like I said, you probably are very familiar with it by now, but I'll show you some of the dials and the plugins and stuff real quick, just so you can see how it works. So you have everything laid out right in front of you, and when you swipe on the screen on the actual Stream Deck, it also will change on the actual program itself, which is nice to see, so you can see it all real time. So just to show you how I have it laid out, you saw you have the brightness configurator, the dial stack, which is one of the things I want to focus on for you guys, a multimedia player, and a volume little dial here. So just to show you, again, I'll go over to a new page, dials. If you want to change the brightness, it's all the same. Drag and drop, you'll have the options here for a bunch of different things, and then you can go in and see what that actual action does, and it'll show you on the screen above it. So yes, that means you can't actually have a separate function on the touchscreen and a separate function on the dial. They both are pretty much tied together. Now, to show you the way I have it laid out, on the leftmost dial, that is the actual Stream Deck Plus brightness. You can adjust that if you want. And for the actual design on the screen, there are some things they can improve on. For the volume dial, you see when I turn up and down, what it does is it just has like a little overlay over the little logo there as it is. So I would like to see that kind of cleaned up a bit. It's kind of messy when it does that. And also have the option, instead of just, a logo going left or right, to actually show me what number my PC volume is on. Now, next to that, this player button, I currently have this configured to change up any multimedia playing on the PC. So right now I have Spotify. You can see when I press play, when you actuate the dial, that is, it'll start. And then one of the things you can also do is change each track just by moving the dial left and right. So sort of the same thing here on the screen itself. It just has that overlay logo on top of the current logo. I would like to see that cleaned up a little bit, but not a big deal. Just showing you some of the stuff that it can do that you sort of got the gist of so far in the review. Now, one of the cool things you can do with these are called dial stacks. So over here, you'll see it's just one of the options built into the actual Stream Deck plugins here. You have just the brightness in the dial stack right now. I assume as things come out, they're gonna add a lot more over time. And a dial stack is pretty much adding, a bunch of different things on top of each other that you can go through and cycle between on that one dial. So for example, I'll throw brightness here, multimedia, a different brightness for the lights and stuff, camera setting, and a wavelength setting. So I have 5 things here right on this dial stack. And you'll see in the device, right now it's at brightness, and every time I press it in, it'll go through that next function that I have set. So I like that. It's a nice intuitive way of adding a bunch of things to one dial instead of having, numerous pages, all different dials. It makes it really convenient here to just stack them like that. So I'm really digging dial stacks. And again, these are all ones that are currently just supported by Elgato, because technically I'm filming this before it actually comes out, so there's not a lot of plugins currently, obviously. So I do expect the dials to change and improve going forward, giving you a lot more customization. Now, one of the things you can also see with the little screen above it is it has a background. This is something you can just do natively in the software. Open the background library, and they have a ton of built-in ones for you, which is pretty cool. You can pick from. I have one of the gradient ones here, but they have a bunch to pick from just to give it some color and stuff. So I'll pick this tree one, and boom, now the background, you can see it changed real time to the trees. But yeah, like I said, I'm digging the gradients. They're a lot more easy on the eyes. So actually I'll go with that one. But yeah, so one I had before, very quick and easy. And speaking of those plugins and stuff, built right in up top is the whole Discover tab through their Elgato store. And here are all the plugins which are currently just supported for the actual keys. Like I said, there's nothing really supported yet for these dials from third-party developers and stuff, because this isn't technically released yet. So I expect this to definitely be updated with a lot more functionality for those dials to be used. But yeah, there's hundreds of different plugins here. You can see there's a ton for all different genres. Super quick, you install it, and then if you want to go to add it, you go back to your keys, and odds are it'll be towards the bottom here. So I have some extra things added to these custom ones. So I'll show you real quick on my second page, current Bitcoin prices, Apple stock, I have a little clock there, my current CPU usage. And then going back to the first page I have, this is pretty much the default thing that I have it set up as for when I'm gaming, which is all shadow play stuff for recording, getting gameplay footage for you guys. But yes, everything will get you add through the Elgato store gets added towards the bottom. So a bunch of stuff for controlling the Elgato camera, my nano leaf lights, the wavelength, all here, all drag and drop. So like I said, definitely, not too much has changed. You just now have the iteration of the dials to the screen above it, with the main focus here being the dial stack integrated to make this just a lot easier. So as you saw, super easy to use, everything's all drag and drop, and like I reiterated, this is brand new. So there's gonna be a lot more options to configure and customize those dials once the public gets their hands on this. People can make their own and upload them. So there's gonna be a lot more potential unlocked in the coming months, which is definitely good to see. But right now, if you want to buy it just for the day one release, if you have a bunch of Elgato products already, so like if you're streaming with their link software, their microphones, the face cam, their lights, that's all just readily available and configured with the dials and stuff right now. So if you're in that whole ecosystem, you'll be fine. But like I said, there's gonna be a bunch more coming out down the line. Tie-ins with like Photoshop, Premiere, so it's all easily configured on the device itself. It's really gonna take off, like I said, once the public gets their hands on this. Now, in case you're wondering, a few months ago, I reviewed the Razer Stream Controller, which is pretty much their version of the Loop Deck Live. That's similar to this in the sense where it has those LCD buttons, 8 buttons on the bottom and 6 dials. So if you're curious on how they stack up next to each other, without getting too deep into it, because it's just a review of the Plus, what I could say is this. The user experience with Elgato and the Stream Deck and their software is miles ahead of where Loop Deck is at, because this was originally made just for like photo editing, video editing, all that stuff. They sort of, with the collaboration with Razer, getting more into the streaming side of things, but the software is just way too tedious and too complex as of right now. You're buying the Elgato Stream Deck and the other Stream Deck products because it is so easy to use, very intuitive, user-friendly, so I'm still giving this the edge. The new dials, the new touchscreen, it's really gonna set it apart and make this, like I said, just a dream for streamers out there especially. That's one thing I didn't even really talk about in this review because it's kind of a given already. That's what the Stream Deck was originally made for. So now, yeah, streamers can definitely take advantage of this. The new dials, so much easier. But again, gaming, photo editing, video editing, there's no limits on what you can do. I'm loving it. The only 2 things I'll complain about, and that I mentioned in this video, is the fact that I wish the buttons were tactile and not that mushiness that they currently are. And it definitely would have been nice to have some haptic feedback on the touchscreen. 2 minor things that don't break the experience or take away from it overall, but would have been the cherry on top, I think. But in the end, for $200, that's really not too bad overall, considering what we're given here. And again, the Stream Controller from Razer is $280 or $270, whatever. That's a lot more than what you're getting, and I think, like I said, you just have so much more potential with the Stream Deck Plus. So for that price, given the competition and given the overall functionality, it fits perfectly in their product line, and like I said, all thumbs up on my end. Definitely recommend this. I'm really happy and excited to see the community feedback and the community profiles and things they do with the Stream Deck software to upload their own plugins and stuff coming up for the upcoming months. And guys, that'll wrap it up for this review of the Stream Deck Plus. If you appreciated it, give this video a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day.